Alright, a little morning video at the halfway house. I don't think I showed y'all this one yet. 1959 Buick Invicta estate wagon. This is my dream car, believe it or not. I bought a 59 Buick Electra 4-door sedan with my high school graduation money. I've been trying to get my dad to help me buy it all year, but he didn't really like the car. And I received, like $1,500 for high school graduation, which was pretty badass. And they were asking $2,500 anyway. I went and bought it, but always wanted the wagon version, and these are impossible to find. This one's obviously rougher than I wanted, but you can't be picky when you want a 59 Buick wagon. But it's a 401 nail head, of course, Dynaflow automatic. It's all there. The trim and everything that you see missing, I have. You can see it back there. We got all this trim. I did get this. This is how you roll down the back window. Pretty fucking cool. I got that working. The guy told me that he was driving this car like 15 years ago and had it running 5 years ago, but when I went and looked at it, it didn't look like anybody popped the hood in fucking 30 years, but so I don't know. I did get a set of dog dishes with it. I figured out that not all these wheels come with the clips for the big Buick dog dishes, but I'll find some. There's obviously some dents. This side's got some rocker rot. Needs floor pans. Needs a quarter. I mean, overall, it's definitely buildable, but I would like to spend a little bit more money and got a nicer one. But these dashes are just so cool. Obviously, needs everything. It is a non-AC car, but pretty freaking cool. I've been wanting to do a wagon, I mean, I like wagons, and shit, it seems like 10, 15 years ago, nobody wanted these damn wagons. Now, dude, they're sky high, but I got what I think is actually, I know it's a smoking deal on this thing. It's local too, San Antonio, so I hauled ass and picked it up. Had to have it, man. And when I called the guy, I thought for sure it was gone already. He had posted like 15 hours before, and I jumped on that thing, and the guy was cool. Bought it for his wife, and they never ended up doing anything with it. But surprisingly, the roof's good. I kind of tried to, look down the back behind this, and there's a little bit of rot, but dude, it's pretty solid. So then we'll go to my baby, which has been at my buddy's shop for 3 years. He was supposed to rewire it, never had the time, so I got it back now. But it's a 59 Pontiac Star Chief. Of course, I had to put cheaters and fender roll exit headers. I built the headers myself. I've had this car for like 12 and a half years. Got the reverse light deletes. I looked for those for years and years and years, but it was a pretty solid car. It's fucking dirty as hell right now, but it's a 389. I had it rebuilt, probably 11 years ago now. Pretty good sized crane cam, crane roll rockers, shit like that. Chevy intake valve, ported polished heads. I used to have dual quads on it and shit. I did put a Muncie 4-speed in it. As far as I know, I'm the only person that's ever put a Muncie 4-speed in these. Actually, that's what I want to do with that one too. Basically do it just like this with cheaters, and I won't do fender roll exit headers, but cheaters, and I like to do a dual quad nail head. Maybe tri-power on that one, I don't know. Maybe just 4-wheel. But pretty solid car. He asked me to take all the interior out to rewire it and pull the top of the dash, so that whole metal dash on bolts. So I did all that for him. I just got this, he delivered it to me yesterday, but I've got everything for this car. There's the harness I bought for it, but pretty sweet car. Muncie 4-speed, man. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing back then, and somehow I figured out how to do it. But of course, I got the Canadian dog dish hubcaps. There's the fender wells. I made those. I wish I made them now. I'm a much better welder, fabricator, but oh well. This motor was pretty sweet looking when I first built it. Obviously, it's been sitting forever. It was kind of bad timing, because I had just kind of gotten this thing together when I moved to San Marcos to go to college, and so I didn't have time to work on it. And I first lived in an apartment, and then I moved into a house that I had it over there for a couple months, and we ended up moving houses after, I think we lived there for 3 or 4 months. And then the other house I moved to didn't have a big enough shop or a big enough driveway, so brought it back over to this house, and this is where it's been sitting. until about 3 years ago when I took it to my buddies. But I think I did Chevelle because I had to, as you can see, I did a hydraulic clutch on it because, I mean, you cannot find 59 stick shift linkages for it. So I needed the small booster. I don't remember if that's aftermarket or if that's something. I really don't remember. I want to say that's late 60s Chevelle or something like that. Yeah, man, this I was making jokes with my buddy because he's had it for so long. Now it's so dirty. I was like, man, it looks like a barn find. It's probably worth more money now, especially with the cheaters and the fender wells. I mean, fuck, dude, this thing could have been a 60s fucking racer. But I did do I think it's 65 only Oldsmobile tack, and I didn't want to drill into the dash, so I mounted on the little, I don't know if you can see, but that little, that's what that trim piece is. That's the piece that goes right here. I got it working somehow. I had no clue what I was doing. But yeah, these pedals, impossible to find. I had the entire swap done, and I didn't have a set of pedals for it. So that shit was impossible to find. But super cool dash. It's really in good shape. I mean, I say that. I mean, obviously it's not a show car. You know, ain't cream puff or survivor or nothing. But I mean, it's super solid. Of course, a little bit in the corners, and well, the other side has, you know, like all the Pontiacs have in that corner, the fender corners. But I did do floor pans in it. One side had some pinholes, and I went ahead, and the other side was just kind of thin, so I cut out both sides. You know, they didn't make floor pans back then when I did that, so I made them myself. But pretty cool. To me, this is exactly what I wanted. It's just a cool car, man. It's, to me, about as cool as it gets, other than the Wagon. But anyway, so that's it. I got that trim piece. I'm missing a clip, and I never really could get these to stick real good because I think they're bent. But so I need to try to find some new ones. Let's see if I can open the trunk. The trunk was pretty solid. No, it's locked, but yeah, pretty cool. And I kind of added my little touches here and there. I've got I think it's a 63 Grand Prix, the 3-gauge cluster that has them all angled. So I'm probably gonna swap that in there. But see, I had to add my little Star Chief logo in there. I guess it's one of those that I painted. I really don't remember. It's been so long. But yeah, I can't wait to clean this thing back up, get it back together, and get it running again. I had a short somewhere, and basically I could grab the whole harness under the hood and jiggle it, and I'd always leave the door open, so if the dome light came on, then I know that it had power, and if the dome light didn't come on, I didn't have power in anything. So I assume it was probably the, shit, you can probably see in here now. I'm gonna say it's probably the amp wire for the amp gauge, or the wire to the amp gauge, but our amp meter. So, and I figured, you know, goddamn, it's 60-year-old, a lot of time. It wasn't quite that old, but you know, 55-year-old wiring. Why chase the fucking short, you know, replace the whole goddamn thing before you burn the whole car down. So it was bought new in San Antonio, Superior Pontiac. They were a pretty hopping Pontiac dealer back in the day. They actually received one of the 6 Tempest Super Duties 63s back in the day. I have that badge too, and I remember I took it off because I didn't want anything to happen to it. And I remember I came home one day and found it broken in the shop. But my buddy's gonna try to weld it back together. He does fake teeth and shit like that. So he said he thinks he can somehow, you know, mend it back together. So hopefully he can. But yeah, this thing has pretty good. I mean, the curved glass is good, badass, but this is just flat glass. So that's easy shit to get, but not a bad car. Windshield's tits. I'm gonna get it painted eventually, original color. So the only thing I'm gonna change is I'm gonna put the blue in the V, because this is a original. It's a silver mist gray with, I think it's Concord blue or something like that. I don't remember now. It's been so long, but it has a blue roof and blue fins. I think this has been painted afterwards, but the only car I've ever seen with a blue roof from the factory, and I've seen not a million, I've seen a lot of Pontiacs, even silver with white roofs, and never seen one with a blue roof. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, definitely redo this blue, redo the top blue, and do that fin, or that little V on the hood blue. All right. Just wanted to show y'all what I told you. I was trying to get out of the Dodges and get back into my old 50s stuff, so I'm doing it. 259 GMs. Not a GM guy by any means, but man, you can't beat the 5960. And I really like the 62, 63 Pontiacs and Buicks also, but 59, that's the coolest. Nothing cooler. All right, I gotta get to work. See y'all later.